Hey everyone, good afternoon. It's Captain Chandler with your police department. I'm here with Rich, and new to our Community Connection Live updates, we have Taylor. And Taylor, glad you're joining us. Folks, if you don't know her, she is our investigative analyst, full of knowledge prior to coming to work for Team MJPD. She used to work at the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. And I think, Taylor, before that, you went to school at Tennessee Tech.
Yes, sir, I did. That's correct.
And then you did some work in domestic violence and working on preventing such with individuals in our community. So we're glad to have you, Rich. How's your day going, man?
Going great, Cap. How are you guys doing?
Hey, I'm good.
Doing great.
All right, awesome. Everything good at the investigative house, Taylor?
Doing
I know you're
good.
at a separate location from us, but it's always good to see you.
Thanks, Captain. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. So, folks, we have severe weather forecasted for tonight, and that's what I want to start with, is this severe weather threat that we have. So the outlook has us in an enhanced risk. Yesterday, we were in the number 2, and then they moved us up to the number 3. So that risk continues to increase, but I don't really want to pay too much attention to that because when we had our bad tornado come through in 2020, the risk level was actually lower than what we see on the screen. So it's kind of hard to understand the threats with that, to me anyway. So that's why we always need to be weather aware when severe weather is forecasted. But there is a hazard level of tornadoes this evening. Damaging straight line winds are the primary threat, 70 plus miles per hour. We could have some large hail and some brief downpours as well, but they don't expect any flooding. So you can see we're in the orange category where Wilson County and Mount Juliet is at. The timing they suspect for us, we will be hit with the main round around 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. So when you go to bed tonight, be connected to a reliable weather warning source. And Rich is going to go more into that as well. But we suspect something from 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. on a conference call earlier at 1 o'clock that I was on with our weather service. They did mention there is a round that's going to move through a little later in the evening. It may or may not reach Middle Tennessee, but we're supposed to watch the radar. And what we're watching for are discrete supercell thunderstorms that could have embedded tornadoes that may continue to track our direction. So into the evening, stay weather aware. There could be some tornadoes. There's definitely going to be some damaging winds into the night. But Rich, what do you have for us with some safety?
Yeah, the same weather stuff I enjoy talking about. Y'all know me, the weather nerd. So go over the watches and warnings with everybody. Of course, everybody knows the warnings are the really bad ones, right? That means the stuff is coming. With the watches, everybody always gets these confused. So the watches are, the conditions are favorable. It means it might happen. You need to be weather aware. That's when you just need to be weather aware. Have your safe place ready. Have your weather radios or your other means of communication ready and available. That way, if the warning does come, you can get those warnings and take shelter as soon as you can. If that warning comes, that means the storm or tornado is imminent. You need to take shelter as fast as you can. And it's funny, I used this graphic a couple of weeks ago, and people really enjoyed it. If I can get it, there you go. The taco watches and warnings, people really understood that a lot better. And I found it as a joke one day, but it's funny. We got some great positive feedback about it. But the taco watch means you got all the ingredients for the taco. You're getting ready to have your tacos. The taco warnings mean, hey, it's dinner time. You need to take care of business, right? So if you get your watches, it's coming. If you get your warnings, it's time. It's ready to happen. So just be mindful of your watches and your warnings. If you get those warnings issued, you got to take care of yourself, take care of your family, and get to that safe place as quick as you can.
Gotcha. So what I see, Rich, is when a watch is issued, we're going to have all the ingredients to make that taco. And then when the warning hits, it means the taco is there. So we need to take cover and find a safe place in our home where we need to go. And it's always important that you kind of already have that safe place identified. I have that at my home. Taylor, I'm sure at your home with your family, you have that safe place identified, right?
Absolutely. We go to an interior coat closet.
There you go. On the bottom level of your home, I'm sure. Then Rich has a graphic. Rich, let's go over that graphic a little bit.
Yeah. And, I talk about it a lot with folks. The easiest way to think of the best place to go is think of whatever building you're in like an onion. So think if you peel those layers away, the innermost layer of that onion is the safest place. So interior location, bottom floor location, best place to go, right? So interior closet, interior bathroom, someplace like that. If you get into a bathroom or a closet, make sure you've got something too to put over your head. If you've got an old bike helmet or a pillow, take something with you to cover up your head, because a lot of the injuries occur that are head injuries. So make sure you take something to protect yourself inside those interior closets and bedrooms. If you don't have an interior closet or bedroom, something inside the home, whether it's a living room or a staircase, something like that. And we talked briefly about the communications means. Whatever is best for you, work out your plan ahead of time. That's why we like to let everybody know we're not doing it to scare you, just making sure you're weather aware. Make sure you have your stuff in place and make sure you're ready. Of course, the wireless emergency alerts that are on your phone, as long as you keep them turned on, they should wake you up if the warnings happen. Whatever weather apps you like, whether it's weather.gov or the National Weather Service or various things. And of course, the text messaging services like what we have here with the MJ Alert program. If you're not signed up, you need to sign up. And we do our best to keep those going when we're busy. But Captain does a really good job keeping that stuff going. And of course, your social media and your family and friends. And they're Captain threw the graphic up for me. All you have to do to sign up for our MJ Alert program is text MJ to 67283, and it signs you up for our text alert program. It's really simple, and that's really all there is to it.
Yeah, super great program that we have, Rich, where we can text our community. And, we try to let you know when we can about when we have these tornado warnings, but we definitely send a pre-alert that lets you know that this weather is on our doorstep. You need to start paying attention immediately to the weather warnings or to start to take cover. We monitor the weather very closely when it is imminent to our community. And we try to do everything we can to keep our community informed so you can take those measures to keep you and your family safe. I don't want anyone to not get the message to do things that they need to do to be safe, right? I want everyone to go to their safe place where they need to go, because we saw when the tornado came through in 2020, I think about 6 text alerts went out prior to the tornado actually hitting our community and coming through Mount Juliet. And not everyone got the warning. Some people found themselves in the middle of it. So you really have to take those precautions when the warning hits. And, for the most part, just being real, most warnings, you may not experience a problem, but someone else in the community may. But just don't become immune to the warnings. They're there for a reason. They're calculated. And when you start to get those messages, just go to your safe place just in case that bad storm does end up coming over your home, because you don't want to try to get to your safe place when it's actually over your home. That's probably going to be too late. But don't get used to those warnings. Don't get immune to those warnings. When they come out, they're serious. Take action to keep you and your family safe. Thank you, Rich. And just wanted to jump in again with the start of this week. We experienced a terrible tragedy in the Nashville area with impacts wide-reaching across our nation and the world at the Covenant School in Nashville, where there was a active shooter and 6 individuals lost their life. 3 of those were children. Tuesday, you see the images up of the candlelight ceremony that was organized by Everyone's Wilson. Jared, the pastor at Journey, not Journey Church, the New Tribe Church was there to help organize that. Our mayor as well, and Chief Hambrick spoke at the event. But a lot of community members came out just to fellowship and pray for those victims and families and everyone impacted by such a terrible tragedy. But we're thankful for a loving community that we have and always coming together to rise up and help others. You may have seen the new mural as you drive down Mount Juliet Road headed north at the train tracks for Charlie Daniels. And there was a dedication for that today, not today, but this week. And we were out there. I believe this was Wednesday, right, Rich, when the weather was pretty nice out. Super neat event to be at. Beautiful mural that we have, but it was also good to be there with the Charlie Daniels family as they dedicated that mural to him. And then Easter in the Park is this Saturday. It'll be busy tomorrow. Hopefully the weather will move through, and it should be. And it's supposed to be sunny, but it's going to be wet out there. So parking will be limited to on the paved surfaces. The field in front of police headquarters will likely not be available due to the wet and the mud. But your parking locations will be at Charlie Daniels Park and all the schools connected along Charlie Daniels Parkway and Woodridge Place. So Mount Juliet Middle School and Elsie Patton, those parking lots are available for the event. Starts at 11 a.m. and goes until 2, sponsored by a couple folks, City Mount Juliet, Birthright Title, the Kiwanis Club International, Wilson Bank and Trust. But we're always looking forward to that. There'll be a lot of police officers out keeping the area safe. Rich, I know you're going to be out there enjoying it. I'm sure Taylor will be out there with the kiddo and doing the Easter stuff. And Taylor, you're pretty creative with costumes. Does the little one, does little OG have a costume?
She does have bunny ears. She
Okay,
has a cute little Easter outfit and some bunny ears, so she'll be ready.
What about you and Bob? Are y'all going to be dressed up as bunnies as well?
I don't know about that. Okay, will for sure.
Folks, they participated in and correct me if I'm wrong, Taylor, on the animal, but it looked like a giraffe. But they participated in a 5K run at the Nashville Zoo, and Taylor's husband dressed up as a giraffe to run in it. And what was she wearing?
She was a baby giraffe. They were a daddy and a baby giraffe.
All right. So Taylor's husband puts up with a lot. So
it was voluntary for him.
Voluntary. Okay, I got you. Well, there you go. Good for him. Good sport there. But folks, Easter in the Park, we look forward to seeing you. There'll be a lot of us out there, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., Charlie Daniels Park tomorrow. And April starts tomorrow as well. So we are rolling out our autism awareness badges just to show our support for all families in our community who have children that may be experiencing autism. And we just want to show our support and know that we're here for them. We train to respond to many incidents involving children with autism, and we just want to show our support. So throughout the month, our badges are going from all gold to the gold, red, and blue autism puzzle piece sign. So always, this is my favorite unique badge of the year that we get to wear. So looking forward to wearing that in support of the families. And then just MJ alert. Rich mentioned it earlier, but again, anytime we have severe weather, predicted for tonight, we want to always give a plug for MJ alert. All you have to do is text MJ to 67283 and you're connected to us. So get connected when you can. And then checking on Jake back in the control room. Jake, how are things from your end? Is our sound good?
Everything's sounding good, looking good.
All right. Appreciate it, Jake. We'll take you. All right. Appreciate Jake. He's our multimedia specialist, but keeps us running in all the graphics in our live shows. And just wanted to give him a shout out as he sits in his little control room. Rich, weekly update. How are we looking on stats?
Yeah, doing good this week. This week we're covering March 23rd to March the 29th. Getting right into it. We had 1,006 police calls for service, 78 fire department calls, 19 crime reports, 85 arrest charges, 500 traffic stops, 253 citations, 27 non-injury crashes, 7 injury crashes. Those crash numbers are creeping up a tiny bit again. It's getting to be that time of year, folks getting out with the pretty weather. So getting them crash numbers up a little bit.
Yeah, and I like to just mention that traffic stop number and the citation issued. So what I see by that is our officers give a lot of warnings to individuals for unsafe driving behavior. When you see 253 citations out of 500 stops, that's just barely half of the individuals stopped on our roadways get citations. And typically our officers save those citations for serious violations or repeat offenders that continue to drive through. But they do give a lot of grace and humility when they're out here serving and protecting. But we truly need our roads to be safe. Thankfully, our crash numbers are on the lower end of what we consider low, but I hate to see 7 injury crashes where people have been injured in a crash in our community. And we want 0 of that. And if we can get 0 non-injury crashes as well, that'd be awesome. Thanks for that, Rich. And
on the crime reports this week, 8 family disturbances, 3 each on the property damage and theft, and a couple of embezzlement and fraud and trespassing. And on the arrest charges,
about the fraud thing. So I get it's crazy what people will do to commit fraud. But I got an email today from the Wilson County HR department for another thing that I'm involved in. And they email me and say, "Have you been emailing us?" I said, "Well, no, I haven't. I haven't emailed HR about anything." And they said, "Well, someone's been contacting us trying to change your bank account information on your direct deposit." I said, well, that's not me. Can you send me all the information? And so sure enough, someone has created a fake email account. They created fake documents and including a fake driver's license of me, where they've tried to commit fraud on our county HR department using me as a victim to try to get my check directly deposited somewhere else. So very interesting. And I see it all the time here with victims that we have in our community, but always check your bank accounts, folks, check your credit reports and ensure you protect your information as best as you can, because there are people out there that may not even live in the United States. And for a fact, we know they live outside the United States a lot of times, and Taylor could probably go into that, but they're always trying to fraud someone. And that they do anything that they can to look real. And those small little things, you may trigger, okay, this is something fake. And thankfully, the HR department, quickly knew that this was likely fake, and they immediately notified me, and really appreciate them for being aware to catch that fraud attempt, which would have hurt me really. But appreciate the HR department at Wilson County for that. But be aware, folks. Embezzlement fraud is a real thing, and we deal with it a lot, and it's really hard to prevent because the suspects don't live in our community, and it's hard to go after them. They're, again, not even in the United States a lot of times.
All right, now on to the arrest charges for the week. We're at 22 on the driving with a suspended or revoked DLs, 21 simple possession of drugs, 9 each possession of drug paraphernalia and warrants, and 5 no driver's license. And of course, you see the rest there. And one that made its appearance again there at the bottom, the move over law. That's starting to become more and more common because folks just don't seem to want to pay attention to the lights on the side of the road.
Yeah, folks, you need to pull to the right if you ever see siren and lights when that vehicle is moving. But if the patrol vehicle or the wrecker, ambulance, fire truck, whatever it may be, a citizen with their hazards on, if they're on the side of the road and they have those flashers on, you need to move over to give them plenty of room to work and be safe. And when you see that move over law cited, someone didn't move over and a police officer stopped them and issued them a ticket. And it's not just a simple ticket. It's a pretty serious ticket that is not in our local traffic court. It goes to General Sessions Court in Wilson County.
Yep. And then getting on to the neighborhood and school zone traffic enforcement. We focus this week on Park Glen, Page Drive, and of course, all of our school zones. 66 stop, 43 citations, and 2 arrests. So some good work in the school zones this week.
Awesome stuff.
And Guardian Shield system. The big 3 stats that everyone really likes to see is our stolen cars at 152, our stolen plates at 66, and our wanted persons at 109 ever since we've had the system in place.
Yep, and the majority of individuals arrested out of that program are definitely not from our community. About 98 to 99% are outside of the community, and we recover a lot of stolen vehicles for the city of Nashville.
And that's what I got for you on Stats Cap.
Awesome. Good stuff. So Taylor, you're new to the broadcast. You're going to give us a lot of good insight with stuff involving, your investigative analyst duties, but also helping share information from our investigative division with the police department. And we have detectives that work hard each and every day. And so you identify things that can show trends, that can help them through their investigations, and help our community as well by relaying information of what they can do to keep themselves safe. So I'm going to pull up your presentation and just let us know what you got.
Okay, yeah, I just wanted to talk about preventing car break-ins and home break-ins as the weather gets warm. Like Richard said, more people out in the community, we see crime trends increase. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about how to kind of what you can do to not make yourself a victim for break-ins and home burglaries. So for car break-ins, secure your doors. I know that sounds silly, but a lot of people don't lock their doors. It's something simple you can do just to make sure that car is nice and secure. Keep your windows rolled up. I know it's getting hot outside. You want to keep your windows open when you're not in the vehicle to, get that air running through there. But make sure those windows are up because it does give someone an easy access point to enter your vehicle. Keep the inside clean. I know that can be hard, especially for those of us that have children, but make sure it's tidy in there because when, a suspect sees a vehicle that's full of items, it just gives them more interest to break into that vehicle. They want to get in there, look around, see what they can find. If there's nothing really laying around, they don't have anything to look for. Take electronics and valuables with you. I can't stress this enough. iPads, cameras, GPSs, cell phones. You never want to leave those out open in the seats because, again, they walk by, see it in the window. They're gonna try to get that item. Park smart. So whether it's at nighttime or during the day, if it's at night, you want to park in a well-lit area. That way your car's not secluded in a dark spot. During the day, make sure there's a lot of people walking around your vehicle. Criminals typically not going to break into a vehicle where there's people constantly going back and forth. So make sure you park in a smart area that's well lit and lots of people around you. Know your VIN and your license plate number. This just helps officers identify that vehicle a little faster. So, we have our LPR system, Guardian Shield. So knowing that license plate off the top of your head, it just gives officers a quicker response time, essentially, if you know that information. And then, of course, report it to us as soon as possible. That's our job. So reporting that just helps that investigation start.
Yeah, absolutely, Taylor. And so, a lot of things that, especially out of the Nashville area, they see a lot of guns taken from unlocked cars. And then you may have situations where you may not be allowed to carry that gun inside. So you leave it in your car. The thieves know that there could be a gun in the car. So they want to break in, try to find that gun, and they get a gun that they use in crimes and furtherance of their criminal activity. So, what I like to tell people too is if you're going to keep the gun in your car, secure that gun in something else, in a lockbox. And, I have a lockbox that is totally secure, that is connected basically to my vehicle, screwed into the vehicle, that I can keep my weapon in if there's some reason I can't carry it in somewhere. And keep it secure, because if someone does get in my car, I don't want them to then get into wherever that gun is. And you may think you can hide it good in the glove box, in the center console, or under the seat. They're going to find it. The thieves are going to find it. And so if they do find it, they need to find it secured in something else that they can't get it out of. Because they're really not going to spend the extra time to break open whatever safe your gun is in. It's pretty quick. And you always want to do what you can to make it harder on the thieves, because they're going to go for the easy targets. They're not going to go for the hard target.
Right. That's a great point. Definitely keep them secure. Like Captain said, in a lockbox that is secured to the vehicle, because if they're going to break in, they're not going to spend a lot of time. They're going to try to do it quickly. So that's a great point, Captain. Yeah.
All good stuff that you relayed as well. Thank you.
And the next thing is home break-ins. So we know that people break into homes, vehicles. So for homes, same thing. Keep those windows closed and those doors locked. I know when it's pretty out, we like to open our windows, let the breeze blow through the house. Just always make sure you secure those windows after you're done. It's just, that's a super easy way for targets to break into a home. Around 40% of break-ins occur from non-forced entry. So just opening that window, walking in the front door, walking in the garage, make sure those garage doors are also closed. One thing that I really wanted to stress is don't boast your travel plans on social media. I know social media is huge these days, but when you put that on social media, you never know who's looking at it. And that just gives suspects an easy target, because they know for sure that you're not going to be at your home. So, be careful about what you post. Possibly wait until you're home to post those vacation pictures, those travel plans, things like that. Another thing that we do is extra patrol. So if you are going on vacation and you would like extra patrol on your home, you can always call the non-emergency line and have an officer occasionally drive by the home. They'll drive by, make sure nothing's suspicious. And just that's an extra way you can make sure your home is safe while you're not there. Cameras, exterior cameras, doorbell cameras. We live in a technology era. So I know there's some pretty affordable options out there. And those cameras just give you a solution for when you're not home. If you see something suspicious, typically it'll pop up on your phone, and that way you can call law enforcement and they will respond out there because you're not home. So that camera just allows you to have a little bit of visibility on your home while you aren't there. Keep bushes and shrubs low in front of your windows. That just gives criminals a place to hide. So making sure they're low, not overgrown, not covering a window, so that you can see kind of who's in front of the window, around the window, things like that. That way no one can hide there. And then just don't leave your extra keys outside. I know that's pretty common if you have family members that are coming to check on your house or children that need access to the house. Unfortunately, criminals know that people do that and they're going to look for that. So if you can avoid leaving that key outside, leaving it under a rock, whatever the case may be, really try to avoid that because like I said, criminals know that people do that and unfortunately they look for it. And then last, just call the police if you do suspect a break-in. You never want your home to feel violated. So, if you do see a window broken or open or a front door open, always just call the police so they can check that out.
Yeah, definitely. Good stuff, Taylor. Super valuable information for our community. And we'll take questions just after Rich shows us the radar for the area. So folks, if you have questions, start typing those in the comments now. And Rich, how are we looking on radar?
Yeah, so right now the radar is not looking terrible. We've got the main line, the front of the main line just starting to get into Nashville. And the rest of it's still way out and past West Tennessee. So this first line coming through is not really posing a threat at the moment. Just some light showers. So coming up on the beginning of rush hour, it shouldn't be too bad. But it's that stuff this evening that we're going to really have to watch out for. So first part of rush hour shouldn't be that bad.
Gotcha. Can you zoom out of that radar and show Arkansas?
Probably. Tell you what, I'll hit over here on Memphis and see if I can pull it.
Yeah, maybe the Memphis radar. I think there were some tornado warned storms out that way already. Yeah, you can see a little bit there to the left. So I think that's the line we're all worried about as it comes through. So definitely we need to stay weather aware into the evening, folks, and stay connected to your reliable weather warning source. But thank you for that, folks. If you have questions, type those in the comments. I thought I saw one earlier. Let me see here. New to the area, any advice on the storms? So Denise, our area has outdoor weather warning sirens. So don't get confused with those. They're not meant to alert you inside of home. They are only meant to alert you if you're outside. So typically they're managed by our Wilson County Emergency Management Agency. And they place those sirens in areas of a lot of outdoor populations, such as schools and outdoor shopping. They're meant to warn you if you're outdoors. Indoors, you want to be warned by the best thing is what I have at my home, which is a NOAA weather radio. It's always on. It's very loud. When those warnings hit, it will wake you up. And if you're not using that, stay connected to your phone. Ensure your phone is charged. And if the weather's moving through late at night, stay up and watch the TV, right? So you can know when those weather warnings hit. Right now, we don't have any public tornado shelters in the community. When our new headquarters is built, it'll be about 2 years from now. We will have an open area for our community to come to if they don't feel like their home is safe. We will have a public tornado shelter area at our new police headquarters, but we don't have that right now. And we have Karen here. We live near Green Hill High School, right off North Green Hill Road. Anything be done with the cars parked in our subdivision during pickup at GHSS? They're practically blocking our entrance every day. And Karen, this is something that we are dealing with at a lot of schools in our area. We have Mount Juliet High School, which has a serious problem with cars parked all over, and also at Mount Juliet Middle School, we dealt with that. So we're kind of hitting the different schools as we can with resources at those different schools. But from when we talk to the administrators, it's really folks just circumventing the pickup line. They would rather park off-site of the school to save maybe 5 or 10 minutes rather than just wait in the normal line. But it really does create a lot of extra dangerous situations, because instead of students and that pedestrian traffic being isolated on the school property, that pedestrian traffic, it just scatters like a bunch of ants in an anthill scattering all over, and it just increases the opportunity for and risk and additional hazards for accidents when you have all that pedestrian traffic just randomly crossing roads and cars stopping in the road to pick up children. But we know that's a problem, but we really want the compliance from our community to just do the right thing and pick up your child or your student through the proper process at the school. We can't police our way out of everything. And we truly need our community to help us out on this and just follow the regulations and the rules that the school has set up to pick up to pick up children. But we continue to monitor it when we can. We're heavy right now at Mount Juliet Middle School and Mount Juliet High School, and I suspect we'll be moving to Green Hill High School as we fix the issues at the two other schools where we've noticed just a greater problem that we need to address immediately. But thank you for that. Let me see here, scrolling through, and I don't see anything else at the moment. If you have something, just type it in, and we will get to it. But it's Friday, everyone, and I hope everyone truly has a wonderful, safe weekend tonight. Taylor, super glad that you could join us, and then that you're going to be new to these broadcasts. Hopefully, you're at all of them, and maybe if I can't make it, we'll have Rich and you, running the broadcast for the week that we have. I know our community loves these things; they love to hear from us, and we're going to do what we can to provide that information to our community. But what did you think about your first time?
I loved it. Thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate it, and I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, there was a lot of cool comments. Amy, she loves the updates. Then you have Catherine here thanking you for the tips that you provided, and Mickey, Michelle Sanders, thanking you for the updates as well, and your boss down there, Lieutenant James Cothran, welcoming you too. Jordan Connor, Hate is that a nickname we need to know about?
It is, yeah.
It is, okay. I got you. All right. Well, we'll keep that private then. Keep that private. And then Mr. Bell here, thank you. I'm so proud of the Mount Juliet Police Department and what you guys are doing. A good job. Great. Mr. Bell, hopefully you'll show up at a Coffee with the Cops soon. It was nice to see you at the one a couple months ago where I can't even remember the coffee shop's name next to Dairy Queen. Rich, can you help me with that one? Ready Teddy's.
Yeah, Ready Teddy's. I can't
Ready
believe
Teddy's. That's where we were. Yeah. It changed names back and forth, and sometimes I just lose track. But Ready Teddy's is it. Rich, you have anything?
Taylor, it was exciting to have you with us. Glad you're with us. A lot of fun. Go Cubs, just saying.
Go Braves.
Braves. All right, folks, please stay safe this evening. Monitor a reliable weather warning source, and if there's anything you need, you know who to call. Call our officers, our staff. They're dedicated. They want to serve you as best as they can, and we're going to do whatever we can to keep you and our community safe. Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful weekend.